I feel like it's really flying under the radar, unfortunately, that Brad Marchand played his 1,000th game, right?
Yeah.
So, and Nick, I know we have what it sounded. We have what it sounded like on Nesson when everybody kind of stopped down. They had a great video they played and everything too. And then this is everybody sort of giving Marshy his flowers.
Brad Marchand, the captain, acknowledging the crowd. They rise en masse. Kevin and Lynn Marchand.
Mom and Dad were there as well. It was something.
Yeah, they're also going to honor him on Monday, on the 19th, I think. They're during that President's Day game, that early game. It's like 1 or 2 o'clock. And
good.
Yeah, it is.
They
it
should.
is. I want to play a quick game real quick. Let me quiz you real quick because you know I love to do this because you brought this up, and I was thinking about how impressive this is that he was able to hit this 1,000 or more game mark for the franchise. And I don't know if you know but there are 8 players on this in the Bruins franchise that have 1,000 or more games. Can you name them?
Let's see.
These should be pretty obvious. There may be one guy that you won't get. Now, these are, I'll say there's 8 of them, and not including Marchand, right? Okay.
So we got Chara.
Yep.
Krejci, because that just happened,
Yep.
didn't it?
Yep.
Bergeron, obviously.
Yep.
Well, Ray Bork.
Yep.
Ooh, I got to go old-time hockey here.
There's 2.
Johnny Busick?
Yep. Yep. There's 2 you're missing.
One is very...
you know this guy because he's management for the Bruins now.
I was going to say, it was either Bob or Don Sweeney. Donnie Sweeney.
I'll give you credit. And the last guy, I don't think there's any way you're going to get.
Let me take a stab.
I don't even know who this guy is.
Oh, God.
So Gary Cheevers was.
No. So that means it's an older player. I don't know. Wayne Cashman.
Yes. Wait, who gave that to you?
No one did.
Yes.
Do you think
you got
Nick,
them all?
Do you think Nick knew?
I thought Nick whispered in your ear because I'm not there.
Or maybe it was a graphic on TV last night.
No, you got them. Yeah, you got them all. Good job. Look at you again, undefeated.
Again, I'm also done the research on this as well, and it looks like this year, right? So you have Ryan O'Reilly, Kyle Okposo, Cal Clutterbuck, Clutterbuck was drafted right behind Marchand in the 3rd round of that 06 draft.
I thought you made that name up.
I didn't. No, Cal.
He played for the Wild for a while.
Yeah, no, Cal Clutterbuck has been around forever. Victor Hedman, Matt Duchene, Marc-Andre Fleury, Lars Eller, Alex Pietrangelo. We're approaching only 400 players ever who have made it in the NHL long enough to go over 1,000 games played. And the reason that I bring up a guy like Clutterbuck and Marchand together is drafted right. Cal was right behind Marchand. And I heard this number yesterday, and I'm mad that I didn't write it down or try to research it myself. It is like a minuscule amount of people who have been drafted outside like the 1st or 2nd rounds, I do believe, in the hockey draft, who have made it to 1,000 games. Like, the stats and the numbers really work out that if you're like a 3rd rounder, if you play 600 or 700 games, you've had a hell of a career. You get to 1,000, especially out of that round. And I'm not saying that it's, Mr. Irrelevant or anything like that, but there definitely is an extra level of achievement. And especially when you think about how Marchand came up, right? He was in the AHL, then he was on the 4th line, then he worked his way up to playing. Now we can't think of Brad Marchand other than the guy being at the wing of Patrice Bergeron. When in reality, when he first came up, he was a knucklehead, pain in the ass. Absolutely.
Yeah, great defender, great on the penalty kill. And if you look at his listen, they're talking about Hall of Fame with this guy. And if you look at his numbers.
Oh, he's a lock.
Yeah, well, just this postseason, if you just go from 2010 to the 2010-11 season, basically when he was his full campaign when he was starting all the time, right? Not in and out, not playing, 20 games here or there or in the NHL, AHL. Like his goals, 4th, his assist, 15th. And this is just the regular season. When you go to his postseason,
that's
in
where
the same season.
That's where the guy stands out.
Yeah, goals tied for 2nd, assist 4th, points 2nd. I mean, 128 points, ranked 2nd since 2010-11 season. So that alone will get him in.
Oh, definitely. And looking at a guy like Cal Clutterbuck, right? Heading into this year, he had a total of 274 points, right? So just to put into perspective, Marshy's pushing 1,000. I think it is, Nick. He's in, 930s?
912.
912. So Marshy will hit 1,000 points, too. But it just goes to show that there are different kinds of guys out of different rounds who can end up sort of really making it in the league. And what a difference between those two. And that's not to denigrate Clutterbuck, don't get me wrong. It just goes to show how unbelievable a story that Brad Marchand really is. And we're going to end up being very thankful that hopefully this guy is another one of those like Bergeron where you begin a Bruin and you finish a Bruin. There still is something romantic in the world of hockey to that I know that a lot of Bruins fans really struggled with when Ray Bourque ultimately got traded to Colorado, right? It was he's been so good for us. We got to go let him go try to win one because we're never going to here. And that's where Bergeron and Marchand and people like that kind of changed this organization and forced them to have to get with it, so to speak, a little bit. And they did. And Marshy's been great, and he's been a good captain. After the game, he was saying all the right stuff. Like the transformation from 05 Marshy to 2024 Marshy, it gets me excited on Friday at 11:25 to talk to Andrew Raycroft about it. Because to hear it through a guy who has seen people come into the league as wild men and then ultimately morph into a functioning professional. To me, that's Marchand.